Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Good
evening,
evening,
sir.
sir.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. So today I thought I'll take up a lesson. This time it's about WordPress, and I think you've been learning about web design, HTML, CSS, and things like that. I thought maybe I'll share some information about how to go beyond basic web design or websites. So before I get into any topic here, so that's me. I have a blog, by the way, with some interesting articles if you want to have a look at it. Let me quickly switch into our lessons learned so far. Okay, so let me go to I'm going to share the screen. So let me switch back to where we are here. Okay. I have this folder for web design work, and I opened that using VS Code. So VS Code is a free editor. It's an excellent editor. You can download off Microsoft, and I use it because it's extensible. You can do a lot of work with it, and it's free. So what I'm going to do now is to show you our normal pathway when it comes to web design, right? So you generally start with a, let's say, index.html file. So I just created a file, and with VS Code, I can have a very basic template. Okay, so this is a website. So this is how you normally design a website, right? So you start with an HTML page, then you need some content here. I hope you can see my screen, right? Screen එක පේනව නේද හැමෝටම?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's say you want to start some basic stuff. So you start like, say, welcome to Sri Lanka, and then you need some content. So just start adding stuff. Now to do the content, you might need some dummy things. So you can go to a site like, say, this one, where it gives you Latin content. So you basically start here and say, okay, I need paragraphs. So don't worry, I'm recording this whole thing. You can come back here later and have a look at what is going on. So I'm copying this Latin text. There's a reason. If I copy paste English text, people will start looking for my English spelling mistakes, and then they will not see my website. So I take Latin. So no one will complain about my English, right? So if you want to, okay, let me minimize this. If you want to preview it, there's a built-in preview here. So whatever changes I'm doing, I can see it on the other side. Now, say, for example, see if I want a city of Colombo. So while I type, it's come on this side. I can also copy this whole thing because this is just dummy text. I can land it here. I can also have city of, let's say, Candy, and have it here, right? So this is what you've been doing, right? Coding. And if you want to style this, you start adding a block here, right? And then you start selecting a tag, and then you color it. Now, say if I want all my if I want all the font to be something special, like say Arial or something, I'll say all, and then I can say font family. Oops, font family. I can select family from here. So I'm going to select Arial. So the whole thing is Arial now. And if I want the H1 to be red color, I'll say H1 color to be red. I hope this is, simple thing that you've been doing. So H2 to be, let's say, color to be green or something. And I want my paragraphs to be something else. So I'll have a paragraph font family of, let's say, I like Gill Sans maybe. Okay, so that's it, right? A simple website. But I had to do the coding, isn't it? I had to know HTML, I have to know CSS. I didn't even include any JavaScript. So if I'm including JavaScript, I need to have another tag called script here. Neither. Oops. Script. And then I need to have some JavaScript there. So for example, alert hello. All right. So if I reload this, that hello will come. Oh, no. It's not coming because I'm running another browser. So if I double click, it will come. So if I go here and say open in the file explorer, and here we go. There, I see the hello. That came from JavaScript, right? So JavaScript doesn't work in my integrated browser. So I go back to my VS Code. Right. So there is no problem with designing website like this, but it takes a long time. There are issues here. I need to make sure the same style is applied for all the pages, things like that. And if someone wants to change the theme, let's say they want to have a menu and some sections here and there, we have to do a lot of work. But I'm not saying this is bad. This is good. There are a lot of people actually building website like this, no problem. But if you want to do a quick website for a company, or you want to, let's say, maintain a blog site, or an organization want to have, a time-stamped articles, time-bound article, meaning like lessons we are having, right? Weekly basis, you want to have an article or something. In that case, we don't have time to go through the HTML. We don't have time to fix problems of HTML. We just want to put our focus on the content. Content meaning the things that you see on the screen, right? The topics and the stuff like that. So in that case, we go beyond this. We will not look at developing HTML, but we go to something called a framework. Okay, there are a lot of frameworks. In fact, WordPress is one of the most famous frameworks in the world. So we thought, let's go with the world's most famous and the most flexible one. There are others. There is one called Joomla. Then there are a few others that are running on Microsoft and things like that. The reason to select WordPress, let me go to WordPress website. This is the WordPress website, wordpress.org. Yeah. So it's a pretty old one, very stabilized, used by millions of websites in the world now to design their blogs and sites and things like that. There are reasons why this is one of the most famous. One, the entire source code is free. Source code, right? The whole thing is free. And there's a huge community of people who are helping to take this forward. Number two is this is extensible. Extensible meaning you can install a very simple WordPress site, and then you can start building. If you don't like the, let's say, theme, you can bring in a theme from somewhere, right? Or you want to build a ticket system. Let's say you want to have a ticket booking system. You can build it on top of WordPress. You want to build, let's say, learning management system. No problem. You can do that. You want to build, let's say, e-commerce site. No problem. You can build it on top of WordPress. WordPress has, apart from the content management, it also has two things that we can use to extend WordPress. One is called the theme. Theme is the look and feel. How does it look like, right? And the other one is called plugins. Plugin will change the behavior of WordPress. Like it'll convert what is happening with WordPress. So those are the two things actually that we'll be looking at on WordPress. Let me run through some slides and then we will come back to the WordPress later. But before I go there, I also want to show you some of the most famous websites out there, right? I went to Google and said, okay, show me all the famous WordPress websites. And I got this 30 plus best WordPress website examples in 2023. So I told you WordPress is, I think, more than 20 years maybe now. But I wanted to see what is going on right now this year. So I got this list. Okay. So coming down, I can see there's a huge list here. There's Sony Music, some of the company that we know, TeamViewer. Then we see Microsoft using it, Microsoft Blog. Then we have British History Podcasts, Time Magazine, TechCrunch, Vogue, Rolling Stone, Crack Magazine. These are very famous places, right? Now, let's look at, for example, a Microsoft Blog. So I'm going to click on that. And they are showing a preview. So I am going to click on this. Okay. So it opens up the blog from Microsoft. And Microsoft being, a huge software company, they are also using WordPress in order to get this blog. Now, this is Microsoft Blog. A blog is something where you used to, it's like a diary. You keep on adding things, right? For a diary, you keep on adding things. Blog එකක් කියන්නේ diary එකක් වගේ එකක්. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි දිනපතා හරි සතිපතා හරි මාසිකව හරි මොනවා හරි දෙයක් අපිට publish කරන්න ඕන නම් oops I think I clicked something. අපි diary එකක් maintain කරනවා. So a blog is like a diary. So I'm looking at one of the articles and you can see on the left there is some menu, on the top there is some menu, and then the article itself is here. I can click this to share my article on Facebook just by clicking on it, or Twitter or LinkedIn I can do, right? This is looking very professional, isn't it? I can do the same thing using HTML, no problem. I can do that. But imagine doing this on HTML. Yeah, so I can, get the colors and all that, but it could take a long time, right? When it comes to IT, what we are selling is time. Remember that we sell time. So if you're taking a long time to design, develop something, whereas your competitor can do it faster than you, then the customer will go to that person. Of course, you need to know the foundation. You need to know how things work. Only then you can do it faster, right? You need to understand what is going on behind the scene and do it faster, right? You need to understand what are the tricks you can use. Same thing can be said about AI. A lot of people are worried about AI. Not to worry about AI, because you should know how to use AI to make your job easy, right? Then you can do better than your competitors who doesn't understand AI or who doesn't use AI, right? So this is one beautiful site developed using WordPress for Microsoft. Let's look at another one, say, okay, Austin Cleon. It also has a nice preview here. So let me click this one, Pinch and Yum, right? So what is this? These are recipes. You see, there's a catalog here. And of course, there's a built-in search. Now imagine searching something in our website. Now for that, we need to know how to do back-end programming, right? And each one is an article. You see, there is a timestamp, October 9, 2023, Swedish pancake. There's a preview picture. And then there's some little introduction text there. So things like that. I can click more recipes, right? So this is a very nicely done, nicely color matched article. So my color same, match right? So these are animated, stuff like that. So let's click on one of the articles. So what I saw previously was called the home page. When I click on an article, I go to the single article view. Remember that, okay? So there is a home page with all the articles. When I click on an article, it takes me to a single article page. So I'm looking at one article now. Bigger picture, more details. There are videos embedded. They are loading now automatically. Right. Okay, so a lot of details and all that. I can come down. I mean, everything related to that is there. And when I stop, I can also see a bigger menu up here. Imagine doing all that using HTML. You got to be an expert HTML person to do that. Oh, I can see some animation on the right-hand side. There are some videos going on and all. You got to be an expert doing all this, right? Now imagine a client comes to you and say, okay, I want a site like this. How long does it take? And I'm willing to pay you good money. Okay. So unless you are an expert web designer who has like years of experience doing CSS, JavaScript, and all that, it will take a long time to do this. You can charge good money. But now imagine you go to this place, right? It's a site called Theme Forest, where you can buy any theme for less than $50. And you download the theme, install onto your basic WordPress, and in a few minutes you have a professional site. Right? So that's the beauty of WordPress. There are thousands of themes available out there, professionally done, which you can purchase, right? And they're not very expensive also. So even if it is $100, it is still what? Maybe 25,000 to 30,000 rupees. Yeah. You can easily charge 150,000, 200,000 from a client. Okay, so here, now this is a place where you can purchase creative stuff. Now, if you go to WordPress, now there are so many things you can purchase. Now, say, for example, I'm looking for a corporate site. Yeah, okay, click that. It will show you all the corporate site themes available. Now, see, $41, $35, $47, right? Let's click something. Okay, CV, job board, freelance marketplace, business consulting. Okay, let's click on this one. $85. Right? So how much is $85? So USD LKR. $85 is 27,000 rupees. You can easily charge 10 times that and save time. Okay. Now this is the information about the theme, WordPress theme, $85. They also give a 12-month warranty if you want, additional $27. And these are the basic themes available. This is published in June 23. So this is a fairly new site. So these are all the different pages we get when we buy that. Right? These are all the features. Easy to use, powerful admin interface, one-click import of demo site. So all that is there. Yeah. Lots of stuff. Now, one other thing I would like to do is to have a preview. So I'm going to click this, which will show me the preview of the site. So why preview is important? Before we buy, we can have a look at it. Now, see, there's a slow moving video in the background, right? There's a beautiful animation going on, right? Everything is done. All we need to do is buy this and change photos, the text, the buttons, everything. You get full access to this theme, right? When I move down, the photo gets loaded, you see? All right, very nicely done. This is suitable for a corporate site, yeah? So for example, okay, here, product list page. Here's the product single page. This is the sidebar on the right-hand side. This is called the standard post. So all these ones are individually designed pages. like how I was doing here, right? I was creating one page. So here, all these pages are individually designed. Say, for example, if I click on to product list, here's a product list page. So you can see consistent menu is there with animation, all that, right? I can have these drop downs. There are these things, where you can, if you are into e-commerce, you can also use those things. I can click on one, I can add it to cart. I think this page is e-commerce page. So I can click on this image to go to the single page of that particular item. So it's a speaker and I'm seeing the single page item here. I can go here, you can go here. Everything is done. Okay. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කස්ටමර් කෙනෙකුට වෙබ්සයිට් එකක් හදද්දී අපිට choices දෙකක් තියෙනවා. එකක් තමයි හැම කෝඩ් එකක්ම මෙතන ලියන එක HTML. මේක නරක දෙයක් නෙමෙයි මේක කරන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් සෑහෙන හොඳ එක්ස්පර්ට් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න ඕනේ HTML පැත්තේ සහ CSS JavaScript පැත්තේ. ඊළඟ choice එක තමයි WordPress වගේ content management system එකක් පාවිච්චි කරන එක. So this is called CMS or content management system, right? So I just wanted to show you who's using WordPress and what you can do and how to purchase. Okay, so let's get back to our presentation. So I was comparing coding versus CMS. Coding is where you need to know your HTML, your CSS, your JavaScript, everything. The other choice is going with the CMS, right? Of course, I also want to show you another one, a very famous one called Joomla, right? This is another competitor to WordPress, but unfortunately, they don't do any marketing. So in fact, Joomla is more powerful than WordPress, more flexible than WordPress, and has more plugins than WordPress, but people don't know this too much. Everyone talks about WordPress, yeah. But this is another very good CMS tool. By the way, both of them are developed using PHP language. That's one reason why we are learning PHP in this module, right? Most of the web-based applications are coming from PHP due to a lot of reasons. One, language is free. When it comes to hosting, it is very cheap compared to Java or Microsoft or in any other Python and whatnot. Hosting for PHP is very cheap. And it's easy to master. The language is easy to master. And if you know PHP, you can customize Joomla, WordPress, and things like that also. Because sooner or later, you may have to do some customization for your client. So if you know PHP, it will be easy for you also. Right? There are people who are actually making a lot of money just by doing WordPress sites. Yeah. For example, if you go to Fiverr, where we find either work or people who can do our work. Yeah. Okay, so I go to, okay, they have a section called WordPress. Let's have a look at that. Here we go. Lots of people doing lots of WordPress. See, 86,000 people are there offering WordPress. 86,000 people. Okay. How much are they charging? Okay, this guy, top rated. I will create Amazon affiliate marketing autopilot website with Autoblog for $100. I will create a professional website using WordPress, $100. Right? Redesign WordPress website for $95. Now, this number in the bracket are the ratings. So if you see more, it's better. Now, this is only 46, but here we have 1,000 plus. Okay. Let's pick up just one. Okay, I'm going to click this guy and see what happens. Ah, no, he's doing something else. He's also doing an affiliate marketing site. No, I'm not interested in that. Let's see. Okay, professional website. Let's check this out. Now, these are the people who make money using WordPress. They create website for other people very fast, right? And he's already busy. There are 2 orders in queue, right? So how much is he charging? Okay, this is his information. I'm a web developer with more than 4 years of experience. I develop web apps with WordPress, PrestaShop, and develop with languages such as PHP, there you are, Python, and JavaScript. Okay. So he's 24 years old. He has 3 gigs, $100, $160, and $350. Anyways, I'm just showing this to you as a motivation for you to have a go and see what people are doing. You know, people like you, 20 plus age. And if you master one tool, you can make real good money. All right, coming back to our presentation. So we are looking at coding versus CMS. I'll show you how to install WordPress and get going with it. And then we need to look at 2 things, something called post and another thing called pages. And also we look at themes, how to change how the WordPress site looks. So the conventional way, right? I already showed that to you. You need to be an expert of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You also need to know certain frameworks. Now in web design, we don't cover frameworks, but if you want to do some professional designer, you need to have knowledge of frameworks like Bootstrap, Tailwind, jQuery, stuff like that. So these are, by the way, CSS and JavaScript, but they make your life easy. So if you want to become a professional web designer, you need to learn some of these things as well. Then you are responsible for layout, navigation, validation, also to make sure your code is validated so that it doesn't have any issues, right? So last point is also important. So may have to spend more time on code than content. What does that mean? We will be spending a lot of time on typing the code than worrying about what the content look like. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි site එකේ HTML CSS ගැන worry වෙනවා. නමුත් content එක එහෙම pictures articles ගැන අපිට බලන්න තියෙන කාලය අඩු වෙනවා අපි HTML නම් කරන්නේ. Right? So this picture shows our graduation, right? Our progression. So if you only learn HTML, you are here. You are at the far left. It's called the structural layer. HTML only gives structure, right? So if you look at my code, right? Coming back to my code here, right? Now, if I remove my style, if I remove this whole thing, there, it only has a structure. Now, to make it beautiful, I had to bring in CSS. Okay. But if you want to look it nicer and have some power, you need to bring in JavaScript also, and plus other framework like Bootstrap. Okay, so that your website becomes friendly with let's say mobile phones and various things like that. But if you want more power, you need other frameworks like jQuery, Bootstrap, and whatnot. So that is the progression of web design. අපි ඉගෙන ගන්නේ වම් පැත්තේ ඉඳලා. අපි ඒකට අදාළ අනිත් දේවා ටික ටික ඉගෙන ගද්දි අපිට පුළුවන් සුපර්මෑන් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න web design වලින්, right? So it's not just HTML. If you want to become a professional web designer, that's the path, right? Okay, so what is a CMS? Content Management System Platform lets you easily create a website without understanding any code. Code එක ගැන අපිට understanding එකක් නැතිව වුණත් අපිට පුළුවන් website එක හදාගන්න WordPress වලින්. And then usual web pages are written using HTML, JavaScript, CSS, plus another programming language. Okay, so if you are looking at general web design, you need to learn all that. Okay, but if you are learning a CMS platform, you don't need to learn. Well, if you learn it, it's good, it's helpful for you, but you don't need to learn all that as well, because if you know how the CMS is structured, how it is designed, life will be very easy for you. All right, now I showed you two, isn't it? I showed you WordPress and I also showed you Joomla. But then, like I said, there are so many others also. So when you're selecting a CMS, these are some of the pointers you need to keep in mind. One is, okay, how do I mute all? Oh, okay. One is how to use it, how easy it is to use, right? Many CMS platforms have drag and drop, so you can easily configure it yourself. And also has something called the visual editor. So whenever you do a change, you can see how the change is happening immediately. And then design options. Does it have themes? Now I showed you WordPress has themes. Joomla also has themes. So themes will make sure that you have a easy to change the designs. Okay. Then data portability. What does that mean? Sharing data between applications. Okay, that's a good point. Now, many times we install WordPress into our laptop and we do all the changes on the laptop. But when we are launching it, it's not so easy, unlike our HTML. Now, HTML, we have a bunch of file in our folder, we copy the file and that's it. But CMS, it doesn't work like that. It requires something called a web server. It also requires another thing called the database. So you need both running on your laptop in order to install that. And if you want to give it to your customer or if you want to launch it, you need to take a backup of the whole data and go to the server and we call it restore. Backup and restore. Right? We backup එකක් ගන්නවා අපේ laptop එකෙන් server එකට ගිහින් ඒක restore කරන්න ඕන. එතකොට තමයි අපේ laptop එකේ තියෙන WordPress site එක server එකට යන්නේ. Right? So that's data portability. And then fourth one is also important, extensions and add-ons. Like you want to change the behavior of your WordPress. Let's say, as an example, now SLTC website runs on WordPress. So when you go and fill a form, the form captures the information and stores that in a WordPress database. And then our call center person can log into that and have a look at it. Then take necessary action. They can forward it to engineering department or HR or finance or something like that. So that's a custom WordPress development. You can do that with add-ons and plugins and things like that. The next is also very important, help and support. If you're stuck with something, where do you go? Who do you ask? If it is WordPress, I mean, there are so many places where you can go and ask for help. There is Stack Overflow has a separate channel. Many hosting companies have a separate section on WordPress. So that also can be done. You can ask questions from people. Most of it is free. If you are really stuck and you want support, say, for example, you want to integrate that into a payment gateway, right? So then you might need some help from the bank. So bank might give you free support because you are using their, let's say, payment gateway. But if you want to do monthly payment, credit card, payment where you pay something now and every month something, it's complicated calculation. So you need some custom work. And then what is the cost of the CMS? Is it free? Is it paid for? Things like that. Now, if it is a paid application, so what about maintenance? Will it go, if the company closes down after a couple of years, what happens to your information, right? That's another question we need to ask when you are selecting a CMS. Now, the advantage of open source program is they don't die soon. I mean, they've been living, like WordPress is there in the market for, I think, more than 25 years now, right? Joomla is same. Joomla is actually older. So they've been there for 20 plus years and they will be there for another couple of years also. Here's a list of CMS. I only showed two, but then there are so many others. WordPress.org, WordPress.com. In fact, both are same, but they do two different things. Okay, we'll see what. Then we have WooCommerce, we have Joomla, we have Drupal, we have Wix. Some of them you may have seen, right? If we are creating a sign up for clients. Okay, so I'm guessing you want to collect information about the clients. Yeah, it's very easy with WordPress. I'll show you how to do that. And then if you are into shopping cart, e-commerce and stuff like that, so there is BigCommerce, there is Shopify, Ghost, Magento. These are actually other CMSs in the market, right? So for example, Shopify BigCommerce, you don't install things, you are buying a subscription. But they are also CMS, they are specifically designed for e-commerce. Magento is now, I think, part of Adobe. Magento is a huge, very big e-commerce platform. Alibaba, AliExpress, Daraz, they all use Magento, right? Blogger is another famous one from Google. That is also, I would say, is a free CMS. But then again, the question is, how flexible are they? How good looking are they? How can you expand it? You know, those are the questions we need to ask. Like the questions these questions, right? So we have to ask this question before you choose a CMS. So here's a selection of CMS in the market. Now let's come to WordPress. Okay, so if you look at WordPress, it is broken down into these main areas. Okay, when you are learning something, you need to first break it down into components, and you go with one component at a time. You master one component, go to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. අපි මොනවා හරි නොදන්න දෙයක් complicated දෙයක් ඉගෙන ගන්න යද්දි කළ යුතු පළවෙනි දේ තමයි ඒකේ තියෙන ප්‍රධාන කොටස් මොනවද කියන එක හඳුනගන්න එක. දැන් අපි කාර් එකක් පදින්න යද්දි මොකද කරන්නේ? අපි කාර් එක වටේ ඇවිදලා බලනවා මේ කාර් එක කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියනවා. අපිට පේනවා දොරවල් හතරක් තියෙනවා, ඩිකි එකක් තියෙනවා, එන්ජින් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ අපි ඇතුළට නැගලා වාඩි වෙනවා. එතකොට අපිට පේනවා ගියර් එකක් තියෙනවා, කරකවන්න කෑල්ලක් තියෙනවා. පල්ලෙහා ඔබන්න කෑලි තුනක් තියෙනවා, පෙඩල්ස් තුනක්. ඕකනේ ප්‍රධාන කොටස්. Then we ask someone, okay, how do you use these things? So someone who knows will say, right, first you have to learn how to start the car and stop the car, right? Then you will learn how to put the gear using the accelerator, or is it the clutch, or is it the brake? And then you're not moving yet. You are learning what is there in the car. And then you start learning how to go forward, how to turn, how to then stop, how to reverse, right? And then you master each one until you are perfect, and then you become a driver, right? Same story with WordPress or any other complex site. You look at the components first, and you go one piece at a time. So with WordPress, we'll start with something called pages, okay? Pages are the ones where you see, you click about us, you see something there. So that's a page, right? So we saw in Microsoft, we click on one and it just shows us something. That's called a page. Page doesn't have a time or a date. It's static content, we say. එක එක මාරු වෙන්නේ about us එහෙම නැත්නම් contact us වගේ දේවල් තියෙන්නේ page එකේ. But then there are other articles where they keep changing every day, every week or something. Let's say you want to publish article about mobile phones, articles about computers, so article about agriculture, right? So you keep on adding things. So those are called post. So two things. Page is a static content where no date stamp. Post has time, date, time, and then you keep on adding things. It's like a blog, right? So those are the two content types on WordPress. That's all. Any content type. Then we have a menu on the top, on the left, and at the bottom, all that we have menu, right? So how do you get a menu? How do you design the menu? What do you put into the menu? You need to learn that, right? කොහොමද menu එකක් හදන්නේ? කොහොමද menu එකක් display කරන්නේ? ඒක තියෙන දේවල් ගලවන්නේ කොහොමද? Sub menu එකක් දාන්නේ කොහොමද? So you learn that, right? And then we have something called widgets. Actually, widget is part of the plugin and themes. Those are little pieces that you can drag and drop into various places, right? They are like a dashboard on the car, right? One widget shows the speed, another widget shows how much fuel you have, something like that. Same story with WordPress. And then we have plugins where you install from outside. Let's say, like somebody asks, can I use WordPress to collect information about my customers? Yes, you can. You need a plugin. Look for a plugin, install that, and you have it. Nothing much to do, right? So you need to learn where to find the plugin, how to install the plugin, and how to configure the plugin. Okay. When you know these three, you can install any plugin and extend your WordPress to do anything you want, right? So you can create a booking system using WordPress by getting the right plugin. And then comes the look and feel. I showed some themes for you. So how can I find themes? How can I install theme? How can I configure themes? So you need to learn those things, right? And the last one is actually the first one, settings. How to set up your WordPress, because websites can be easily hacked because the whole source code is there on a server. And if you don't configure your site, I mean, it doesn't have to be hacking, but somebody can block your website so your customers cannot come. They can keep your website busy, so your legitimate customers cannot come to your website. එතකොට දැන් මේ hacking විතරක් නෙමෙයි, කෙනෙකුට පුළුවන් වෙබ්සයිට් එක හැම වෙලෙම busy කරලා තියන්න. ඒතකොට කාටවත් වෙබ්සයිට් එකට එන්න බෑ. වෙබ්සයිට් එක busy. Right? ඒතකොට ඒ වගේ දේවල් නවත්තන්න පුළුවන්. So we have to learn how to secure our WordPress installation. And also we end up allowing people to give comments, right? So some people can come and advertise their website on our forums and our forums. So we need to stop that also, right? I mean, that is called spamming. There can be a lot of spammers coming and loading your forms with their URLs and websites and things like that. So you need to control all that. So for that, you need to know how to configure your installation of WordPress properly. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. These are the 7 components you need to learn. Just like how you master a car, if you go through these 7 items, I would say you will become a WordPress expert. Okay. Now, in a summary, this is what we have. In order to get going, these are the things we need to learn under WordPress. This is called the WordPress architecture, right? So first thing is I need to know where to install, how to install. Okay, number 1. Number 2, in the installation, what do I have? What are the files I'm getting? So when you download WordPress, you can download actually. You can download the entire source code. It's free, and you can install. Now those are called core files, right? The left, the core files. All right, and then you need to configure a database. Of course, you also need something called a web server. I believe you have installed SAMP last week. So SAMP is a web server with database, a MySQL database, Apache web server. It's perfect for WordPress and it's free. And then with the core files, you are getting themes and also plugins, right? Some basic things are there. And if you want to extend it, you can go out and get them as well. Okay. So that's in a summary how the architecture looks like in WordPress. Now, okay, let me bring this guy down. Okay. How do I get started? Go in the Patangan, right? There are 3 ways, 3 roads to start. Number 1 is you can go to wordpress.com. Okay. Now, actually, there are 2, wordpress.org, wordpress.com. So wordpress.org is what I showed you, where you can download the WordPress installation and install it in your laptop, right? But if you don't want to do that, let's say you don't want to install SAMP or database or anything, you just want to test it, go to wordpress.com, right? You can sign up for a free copy, free installation of WordPress, and you can do everything you want there. Only thing is, it is limited. You can't install any plugins. I think you can install themes, but you can't install any plugins. Okay, so it's very limited, but it's okay to try and see what is WordPress and how to use it and things like that. So I don't recommend it. I mean, I will recommend it if you just want to see what WordPress is, but it's not very exciting. It's very limited. Number two, you can go to this website called byte.host. They give you a free hosting site, and that's what I'm going to use today to show you how to install WordPress online so that you can share it with your friends and family and anyone. Okay, so that gives you one account for one email, so you can perhaps use your SLTC email address and install it and see how it goes, right? And you get 100% freedom. You can install anything you want. You can do whatever you want with it. So it's a fantastic choice to install WordPress. Number three is where you install it on your laptop, right? Of course, you need SAM, or there's another one called Aragon. Either one, you need a web server and a database server. And then you need to make sure you download the file, install it, and copy it, and all that stuff. So there's some work, okay? But well, you can do that. I think it's good practice to learn that as well. ඉතින් අපේ ක්‍රම තුනක් තියෙනවා WordPress වැඩි පටන් ගන්න. එක තමයි wordpress.com කියන එකට ගිහිල්ලා free account එකක් හදාගන්න එක. හැබැයි ඒකේ plugins එහෙම install කරන්න බෑ. ඒ එක limited. දෙක තමයි මේ byte host කියන website එකට ගිහිල්ලා account එකක් ගන්න එක. අපිට ලැබෙනවා free hosting account එකක්. ඕන දෙයක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. database, WordPress වෙන අනිත් website ඕන එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන්. තුන, තමුන්ගේ laptop එකට හෝ desktop එකට WordPress download කරලා install කරගන්න වැඩි. Okay, so I'll I think this is the last slide. Okay, what is the comment here? ඔක්කොම left me. Oh, messages. Oh, message, no message. Okay, all right. I'm going to close this. Let me go to wordpress.com, right? This is wordpress.org. This is wordpress.com. The difference is here you can create a website instantly. Okay, instantly. And if you want to actually buy it, you can pay money and buy an account also. So you don't need to worry about hosting, domain name, nothing. Let's say your customer is in a hurry, they want a WordPress site. Okay, maybe you can start here. Right? And this is coming from the people who created WordPress. So it's very good. Yeah. And this is one way we can support WordPress, because these guys have done a lot of work and they're giving it free of charge. So we can support them by buying something from them. So if you go to plans and pricing, they give you free also, free forever, right? No expiration date. That's fantastic. Yeah. Or you can have a $4 a month personal site, or you can get a premium $8 a month, business $25 a month, or e-commerce $45 a month, enterprise at $25,000 annual. Wow, that's okay for these guys. Now these are the people who are using it. Facebook, Bloomberg, CNN, Slack, Time Magazine, Salesforce. They're using WordPress in their enterprise level. So that's pretty expensive. Maybe you can start somewhere, down here, maybe, depending on your customer's requirement. All right. But we are interested here, the free version. Okay, so there is no pricing, money, nothing. So if you want to download, you go to Get WordPress. Okay, my sister. Okay. You can download the latest version, which is 6.3.2, right? It also has an installation guide. And in order to do that, you need this. You need PHP 7.4 MySQL or MariaDB. So there are some versions. So if you have Apache web server, you will get PHP with it, right? If you are having a database, if it is MySQL, you need 5.7. If you're using MariaDB, you need 10.4. All right. So that's the requirement. Okay. I'm not going to download that. I'm going to show you something where you can share it with your friends. So I'm going to copy this website and I am going there. Okay. So this is a free hosting site. No money involved. You can use this to experiment your WordPress site. So once you are happy with it, you can then go buy a web hosting package from some other company and go ahead with that. So while it is loading, let me show you one of the most famous site for WordPress. It's called Bluehost. Right? They're very famous for WordPress. So if you want to sell this to your customer, I recommend going with company like this. Yeah, see, recommended by WordPress.org. They have a tab for that. So if I go to WordPress, okay, here we go. Themes and plugin, reliable stability, open source. Okay, here basic package is $4.95 per month. If you want e-commerce, it is a $12.95 per month. Right. So okay, let's click on this one. That's like a $5 per month. Okay, what are we getting for $5? Right, here we go. For basic package, we are getting one website and 10 GB SSD storage. And if you're going with the Choice Plus, that's a $5.45 per month. You get 3 websites, 40 GB SSD, free CDN, free domain, professional email, free trial. Okay, and custom WP themes. Yeah. So free CDN stand for Content Delivery Network. In simple terms, that will make your website run very fast. Yeah. So if you want a fast website for your customers, you can start here. And this one, $9.95 gives you what? 3 website, 40 GB. Okay. So you also get additional security here. They also do a daily backup. Now that's very important because sometimes if something goes wrong with your website and if the hosting company does daily backup free of charge, that's actually fantastic, right? And they also give a lot of plugins here. Well, I don't think it's required because sometimes you don't need all the plugins out there. You need very specific plugins. Maybe you may have to purchase that. Yeah. So free plugin themes, I don't think it's required because you're not changing themes all the time. You select theme and that's it. You're going to use it for a very long time. Okay, so that if Bluehost, if you want to sell to your customers, okay. Now, we are not selling today. We want a free hosting site. So I'm going to go here. Okay, free hosting plans. Let's go there. All right, here we go. Complete features. So with the free plan, I'm getting 1 GB disk space, 50 GB monthly transfer, domains and database and support options. My God, I'm getting a lot of stuff free of charge. Okay. But I can't control the domain name because I had to go with whatever domain name they are giving me. මට free දෙන නිසා මට control කරන්න බෑ domain name එක. මට මොකක් හරි ඒගොල්ලෝ දෙන නමක් තමයි ගන්න වෙන්නේ. Which is fine. But they also give me something called the Vista panel. Okay. Right. So this is what I'm getting for free. I'm very happy with it. I am going to go and click the red button. Sign up for a free plan. Okay. So this is the sign up form, right? And they're asking me for a subdomain name, so I'll say date maybe. Okay, I need a password. And email address. I'm going to give my SLTC. Site category. Okay, what do I want? Okay, I'm going to say personal, language, English, and you know what this is, right? So I'm guessing 0D87D and register. Oh. That one. I have a problem. Why is that? Is it O? Ah, okay. It's 0.
D capital.
Capital, I think.
Yep. Thank you. D capital and D capital. Okay, let's try it. Ah, successful. Okay. An activation email has now been sent to Azmeer. Please click the activating. Okay, very good. Don't do these illegal things. Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, so this is also important because if you're using like Gmail, Yahoo, you might not get this invitation email. So you need to go and check your what do you call it, spam folders. So let me see whether I've received anything. No. Okay. Stop sharing for a minute. Let me check my mail. Oh, I have not received it yet. Ah, yeah, I did. Hosting activation received. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. Here's the email I received. I'm going to click on this link here. So they're creating an account for me. So that will take a while because they want to install some things for me and whatnot. So what I'm getting is a free hosting account. So this is like something that I purchased from Bluehost or any other hosting company. So මට මේ ලැබෙන්නේ free hosting account එකක්. ඒතර මට ඒ කැමති දෙයක් install කරන්න පුළුවන්. WordPress විතරක් නෙමෙයි ඕන දෙයක් මට install කරන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි මම අද install කරන්න යන්නේ WordPress. So I can install anything, but I choose to install WordPress today. Right. So while we wait, close what is not required. I shared some interesting videos on LMS, by the way, if you need more information. There's also one in singular language, a very good introduction. There is also an excellent book on WordPress in case if you're interested in reading a book. This is an absolute beginner's guide. It's an old one, but I think it's a very, very good book. It details everything. Which year is this? 2014. Yeah, almost 9 years. A lot of things have changed after that, but if you want to get the basics up and running, many basics have not changed. So this might be a good book to start understanding how to install plugins, how to set it up properly, right? And one of the big thing, most important things we do after installing WordPress is search engine optimization. Because your website is useless if the search engine can't find it, or your customers can't find it. If the search engine can't find it, your customers can't find it. So it becomes a useless website. So there are a lot of stuff you can do to improve the search engine sensitivity so that people come to your website through a search engine, right? So a lot of things, customization, content, all that. I'll load that to you. You can have a look at it from your LMS. Okay, have we done installation? Okay, done, right? Now here, you need to be careful about this information. You need to make sure you copy this whole thing and save it in some place, because you need this information to log into your site. So I'm going to take a notepad and save it here. Well, it's not showing the password. That's all right. I remember my password. This is required. This is the address that you are going to go to. And this, by the way, is my website address, date.bytehose6.com. So let's try and see what I'm getting if I go there. Okay, it says, congratulations, your free auto account has been activated. Fine, it has nothing. Okay, but it works. I got my free account. Right, so let's install something here. So I'm going to go here. I need to log in to the system. So in order to log in, I need to know this username. And I am logging in to a place called cPanel. So I'm going to click that. Okay. And I need to copy this address and put it here. And my password, I'm going to type. Login. Okay. I'm in. I just need to click I approve. Pretty simple, right? I just got a free account. Remember, I did not install WordPress yet. I only got the hosting account. මම තාම WordPress install කරේ නෑ. මට හම්බ වුණේ account එකක් විතරයි. ඒ කියන්නේ hosting account එකක් විතරයි. So the first thing I'm going to do is to install my database. So actually it's called, not install, create my database. To do that, 2 steps actually, right? Install database, install WordPress. That's it. It's not that difficult. ගොඩක් වැඩ නෑ. වැඩ දෙකයි කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. Database එකක් install කරා, create කරා, WordPress install කරා. So if you go here, I have a preference section. I can minimize that if I don't want it. File section. Okay, I can minimize that also. Database, I need. Domain, I can't do anything because it's a free account. Email, no, I don't want to do anything. Metrics is where I can, look at some statistics. Okay, now I'm not interested. Security, no, not now. I'll come back to that later. Okay, advanced also I don't need. Software I need. It says Softaculous app installer is what I'm going to use. It's the same thing here. I can minimize this because it's available here. Support, no, I don't need this as well. Okay, so I've opened my database and my site builder. Now let's see whether I can go to the site builder and install WordPress without doing anything else. Now, Softaculous is an application where you can install lots of application very easily, right? Now, for example, here I can install WordPress, Joomla, Abanti Cart, a lot of stuff, right? A lot of stuff. So I'm right now interested only in WordPress. So I'm going to say install. All right. Now remember this, my URL. So that's the URL I have. I can't change that because I'm using the free version. Which WordPress I want? I want the latest. So I'm going to select the first one, 632. And okay, some of the things I need to do here. So what is the name of my blog site? And what is my admin account, let's say, information that I want here. So my site name, let's say, date web design. Okay. So then a little description, web design for date. No, let's call it CMS tutorial for date. I don't want any of this. I'm going to leave it as it is. I do need an admin username. So let's call it Azmeer. And I need a password. So they are suggesting this password to me. Okay, I'm going to copy that. Remember, I copied it. So I'm going to keep it somewhere safe, right? Username is Azmeer. Password is that. And my email, I'm going to leave it as it is. I can't, I suppose, change it as well. Okay, do I need any plugins in the beginning? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come back to this later. Okay, there are some advanced options. Let's see, what do I have? Oh, okay. Now see, I did not have to create a database. The system is automatically creating the database also. So I'm not interested in this. I will go with all automatic. Oh, theme, right. So there are nice themes I can start with. Okay, I am not going to install because I will do that later. So I'm going to turn it off as well. I guess I am ready. You see, I didn't do any changes to what is there. Okay, now let's explore. Okay, overview, features, right, screenshots, demo. Oh boy, it jumped. Okay, I don't want a demo. Yeah, I'm going to go to install and say install. Let's install a basic one and then come back to it later. Okay. By the way, if you look at the left-hand side, all these are free tools available for you to install. I'm not interested because today it's WordPress day. Done. That's it. Congratulations, the software was installed successfully. Now remember my site I showed you, was it here? No, not this one. Was it here? Here, this one, right? Account active. Let me reload this again. There you have it. Done. Right? WordPress se install kar lenge. Okay. So remember this date web design. That was the title of my website. This is all, you know, basic stuff that I got, default stuff. Yeah. And that's it. I just installed WordPress. And in order to do some changes, I need to go inside WordPress. So WordPress has two phases. One is the front end, or we call it the customer phase. And the other one is called the admin phase, where you log in and change things. Say, I want to change the, let's say, the article. In order to do that, I need to log in. So if I go back to where I was, actually here, right? It says, WordPress has been successfully installed, administrative URL. So I'm going to copy this one back to my notepad. Okay. That's my notepad. So I need this username and this password in order to log into my admin site. So let me click on this and see whether I can log into the administration window. So I'm going to turn off these things because I don't need that anymore. I only need the WordPress admin site. So this is called the backend or the admin page of WordPress. Okay. This is where we are installing themes, the plugin and customization, change settings, change menu, everything. Right? Oh, it's already 9:15. I'm going to show you one more thing and I'm going to stop. Next time, I'll take you through some of the other content where we will do our customization. That's my backend. Okay. මේ තින්නේ WordPress manage කරන page එක. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි ඒකට කියනවා backend එක නැත්නම් admin එක කියලා කියනවා මේකට. Right? So this is the front end. Let me bring it here. Right? Here's the backend, here's the front end. Right? So remember in our presentation we talked about few areas to learn. Yeah. Pages and post. I'm going to do pages now and show you how to change a page and how to add a page. Okay, so we go one by one. Right, so you see there is some called pages. So when I click that, I see another sub menu, all pages, add new. So let's see what I have right now. I have two pages. I have a privacy policy page and a sample page. If I go to the front end, I should be able to see that. Right, okay, let me move this here. You see sample page, I can click that. And you see on the URL, it changed. It says sample page, right? So here's a sample page, right? And do I have privacy policy somewhere? No, I can click this one to go back to the home page. I'm on the home page. I can click here to go to the sample page. So let's go back here and click on the sample page. So I'm now loading the edit window in order to edit that sample page. So this is called a page editor. So page editor is like a word processing application where you have buttons to press it, make it bolder, italic, change things like that. So අද මේ වෙලාව අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න යන්නේ මේ කොටස් හතෙන් පළවෙනි කොටස. page එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියන එක. change කරන්නේ කොහොමද? ඒක update කරන්නේ කොහොමද? අලුතෙන් එකක් දාන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක. So if you are creating a corporate website for a client, you don't need post. You can do the whole site using pages. So while we are loading, let's see whether I can copy some stuff regarding our date program. So let me go to Applied IT website. Let's go to, oh, by the way, WordPress is multi-language. You can even install, you can copy paste Sinhala, Tamil, anything for that matter, right? So I'm going to go with English. It's still loading. Right, let's see whether I can copy some stuff and create a maybe about us page or something like that. So let's see, is it still loading? Yeah, still loading. Sometimes it may be slow because many people may be using the site and it's free site, so we can't complain. Yeah. All right, I have the editor. This is the editor window. So it says, welcome to the block editor. So this is called a block editor because you edit block by block, right? Make each block your own. Yeah, okay, all right. I'll show you how to use that. Now, this is a sample page. So let me go to the sample page. I'm looking at the sample page, and here I am editing the sample page. So if I want to, change something, sample page edited, right? I type it there and I go and upload, actually update. Okay. And then when I go here and reload, see what happens. There it is. Right? That's how you change what is already there. Now, what if I want to add a new page? Right? Let's go add. So I click on that W icon. I go to pages, and then here I have something called add new. So I'm going to click that. I'm going to add a new page. Okay. Now, adding a new page requires few more steps also. I need to say what is the page. There are two things I have to add minimum. One is the title. Two, some information. We call it the content block, right? That content can be images, it can be text, it can be a YouTube link, whatever you want. So let's say about date program. That's the title. And then here, I need something called a block, right? To get a block, I need to press the plus button, right? These are all the block types I have. Do I want a paragraph? Do I want an image? Do I want a heading? Do I want, any other things? I can click here. These are all the blocks I can have, right? Lots of stuff. Okay, I'm not interested in anything. I will have a simple paragraph. Okay, so paragraph is what I'm going to have. And remember my Latin text. Okay, here we are. Oops, what happened? I'll get some Latin text here. Okay. So I am going to copy this and go here and just paste it. I have two paragraphs. Okay. And then I am going to publish it. Am I sure? Yes, publish it. So now when I go back to the menu, by clicking on the W, I will now see another page, right? Sample page edited is what I edited. And this one, about date program, is what I just added. Okay, can I see it here? Let me reload this page now. Actually, I should have gone to the home page. I'm inside the sample page. Let's see. Yes, it is. There, my page. I click on it. And I have my page. Okay. And by the way, did you notice here something going on here as well, right? It says about dash date dash program. Now, if I copy this URL and give you now into your chat window, and if you type this, if you click on that, you will be able to see my page, right? I just shared my link. So you will be able to see my page because I've already published my website. It's not running on my laptop. It's on a global site somewhere. I don't care which country it is running, but I have a global website now. Anyone can see it. Okay. That's how you make pages, right? And you can keep on adding pages. And if you want to put this as a sub page here and stuff like that, you can do all that. Now, for example, you go back here and say edit. Oh, what is that? Okay. I'm getting a free server, so I might get error messages like this. So don't worry about it. It works. You just do a reload, it'll work. So I'll show you this last item and I'm done for today. So on the right hand side, right here, you have information about the page. Then you have something called the block, no block selected. If you can select a block and then you go here, then that block is there. You can change the color, you can change sizes, dimensions, all that. So I invite you to go through this video. I recorded this and I will upload. You can go through it again. Please practice this, right? Please practice it. There are advanced things you can do. You can also make this smaller, larger. You can change the color of the text if you want to. Make it red, for example, right? You can change the background to say, orange. All that can be done. Okay, featured image. I don't have an image here. I can have a discussion. Do you want to allow comments? You can turn that on if you want to. I'll show you what it does. And then the page attributes. So there's something called parent page. So there is a parent page and a child page. So I didn't have a parent page. I'm going to select sample page edited, right? Remember sample page edited? I'm going to make this guy a sub page of that guy, right? And I'm going to update this. Done. I go here. I'm going to click this link because it'll take me to the home page. Now see what happens to my top right hand corner. I don't have two links. Instead, I have the sample page edited, but a drop down. So when I go there, when I move my mouse, you see there's a drop down. And what is in the drop down? My new page. So I'm going to click that. There it is. With all my changes, colors, everything. Oh, by the way, remember I turned on comments. There you have a form, right? This is a sample comment. Post comment. Comment is gone. There. So please go ahead and add some comments. So next time when you come, you can see all your comments here. Okay, so today, what did we cover? We looked at what is WordPress. In fact, no, we looked at what is CMS. In general, we also understood the difficulty in when it comes to, crude HTML, CSS typing and getting website done, something like this. You can do, but it's not the best way to do websites. So we got rid of it. We started learning about something called CMS, Content Management System. We realized there are lots of different tools available. And then WordPress is just one tool. So these are all the CMSs in the market. WordPress is just one. There are two, in fact, WordPress.com and WordPress.org. .com is for people who don't want to do any installation. They want to just subscribe, buy that and use it. But the free version has limited limits, like you can't install plugins. So we want to install the .org version, but not on your laptop. So we went with a free hosting site. And I said there are 7 things you need to learn under WordPress. So today we learn only the first one, pages. Okay. And in order to install WordPress, you need to have a database, you need to have a web server, hosting account, and a domain name. We got all that from the second choice here, byte.host. They gave us everything. And installation was pretty simple. You click one button and then type a username, password, and that's it. It took care of everything for us. Make sure you save this information along the site. So maybe in a notepad or something. Otherwise, you can't go back to the site. Make sure you install, or rather safeguard your username, password there. Okay. So that's what we did today. I'll upload this for you to experiment. I hope you noticed it. It's a very simple way to build a very professional looking website. We notice there are so many companies are already building these websites. Any questions, anybody? I hope the lecture I did is interesting. You may have learned something new today, perhaps. මම හිතනවා අද අලුත් දෙයක් ඉගෙන ගත්තා කියලා. Right, so I'll take another day and take you through the balance items. I'll try to upload it tonight. Maybe tomorrow morning you can have a look at it. Okay, it's almost 9:30. Have a very good night, everyone. I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
sir.
Good night.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, sir. Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.